What's up guys, today we're making a simple but delicious gnocchi recipe. Along the way, I'll show you how to avoid common mistakes so your gnocchi turns out perfect every time. Let's get into it. To start, we're going to use 2 pounds of russet potatoes. I washed them under some running water and now we're going to poke them all over with a fork. This step is crucial as it lets some steam escape while they bake, preventing them from bursting open in the oven. Once that's done, we're going to wrap each potato tight in aluminum foil and place them on a wire rack set over a baking sheet. Wrapping them in foil is going to steam our potatoes from the inside out. This is going to introduce less moisture than boiling our potatoes in water, resulting in a lighter texture and preventing our gnocchis from becoming mushy later on. Now we're going to place them into an oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about an hour to an hour and a half, basically until they're super tender. While the potatoes bake, let's get the rest of our dough ingredients ready. In a bowl, we're going to crack 2 eggs, then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of salt and a half a cup of freshly grated Parmesan. The anti-caking agents in store-bought Parmesan will mess up the dough's texture, so take a little time to hand grate a fresh piece of Parm. It'll be worth it. We're going to mix this all together and then we're going to set it aside for now. Once our potatoes are done baking, we're going to unwrap them and let them cool for about 20 minutes. They should still be warm, but not so hot that you can't handle them when you go to peel them. Using a paring knife, we're going to follow the outside of the potatoes to remove the skins. Or if you prefer, you can grab a clean kitchen towel and gently rub the peels away. As you peel your potatoes, make sure not to remove too much of the potato. We want to remain with about 2 pounds of peeled potatoes, or else the ratio of potato will be off. Once our potatoes are peeled, I'm going to use the small holes on a box grater to grate the potatoes into fine shreds. If you have a potato ricer, this is the perfect time to use it. Either method is going to work as long as your potatoes are smooth and lump-free. We want to avoid mashing our potatoes as that would quickly overwork them, causing too much starch to be released, resulting in a gummy glue-like consistency instead of a nice and fluffy texture. With our potatoes grated, we're going to add them to the bowl with the egg, salt, and Parmesan. Next, we're going to add 1 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour and we're going to start mixing everything with a wooden spoon. Once you can no longer stir the dough with the wooden spoon, we're going to switch to using our hands. The goal here is to incorporate all the flour until there is no visible flour on the outside of the dough. Try to be careful not to over-knead the dough or else the gnocchi will become really tough and chewy. Once the dough is finished, we're going to generously flour our work surface and turn out the dough. Then we're going to flour the top of the dough and we're going to start dividing it into smaller, more manageable portions. Once the dough is divided, add some flour to your hands and we're going to begin rolling the dough into a long rope, about 1 inch or so thick. If the rope gets too long to manage, feel free to cut it in half and continue rolling it out. Now that our rope is the right size, we're going to cut it into 1-inch pieces using a bench scraper or a knife. Try to be as even as possible when cutting the gnocchi so that it all cooks at the same time. Now here's the fun part, shaping the gnocchi. If you have a gnocchi board, you can take a piece and gently roll it over the board using your thumb to push it down and forward, creating those signature ridges. Another shape you can create is using your knuckle to press down on a piece, creating a small dent in the middle of the gnocchi. Or if you don't have a gnocchi board and still want to make some ridges, you can use the back of a fork to create the same effect. All these techniques are going to accomplish the same thing, which is to help the sauce cling to the gnocchi. So don't skip this step if you plan to toss them in a sauce. I'm only going to fry them in some brown butter so they're perfect just like this. If you're not going to cook all this gnocchi now, you can freeze the whole sheet tray, and once they're frozen you can transfer them to a Ziploc bag to prevent them from sticking to each other. They'll stay good in the freezer for about 3 months. Now it's time to cook our gnocchi. I'm going to season a pot of boiling water with a generous amount of salt, about 2 tablespoons worth. Then we're very gently going to dunk the gnocchi into the water. You can also place them into a ladle and gently dunk them in so the hot water doesn't splash everywhere. Give them a quick stir to prevent them from sticking, and we're going to boil them until they begin to float. This is going to take about a minute or 2, so keep an eye on them to prevent them from overcooking. Scoop them out with a slotted spoon and then place them into a separate bowl. Technically you can eat them just like this with a little bit of butter or toss in some tomato sauce, but we're going to take it up a notch. We're going to make a classic brown butter sage gnocchi. To begin, add 4 tablespoons of butter into a non-stick pan and turn it on medium-high. Add about 6 sage leaves and let them sizzle in the butter until it gets really foamy. Then we're going to toss in our cooked gnocchi and let them cook for about 4 to 6 minutes. Every now and then while they cook, make sure to toss and stir them so they get golden brown and crispy on all sides. Once our gnocchi looks really crispy, we're going to add a good pinch of salt, give it a final stir, and it's ready to be served. And look at that, crispy golden brown gnocchi with a rich sage brown butter sauce. This dish is simple but so satisfying. The gnocchi is nice and crispy on the outside but super fluffy and tender on the inside. I'm going to go finish this, but if you try this recipe, let me know how it turned out in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future recipes. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one.